What is the American dream? What is the American dream? Most people will tell you, it's a great job, or you can become a millionaire, or, you have your first house. You've heard politician after politician say, we need to, get on banking regulations so more people can have access to loans so they can experience the American dream of having their own house. That's not the American dream. That's what FDR changed it into. This is another progressive lie. The American dream is to be able to chart your own course, to be able to succeed or fail, but have a square opportunity. That if you can come up with a better mousetrap, this is not true anymore, by the way. You come up with a better mousetrap, it doesn't mean the market will run to you. You have to get through all of the red tape, all of the government restrictions, all of the other businesses that will do everything they can to stop you. And if you can endure that onslaught, then maybe you can have the American dream of your house. We can't chart our own course. And Congress is absolutely irrelevant. Congress has given away their power for far too long. They've given away their power to the administrative state. And this again, Woodrow Wilson, the administrative state. Think about it. What can Congress really do? What can they actually do? Nothing, really. Nothing. Until they decide to take their power back. When they become the lawmakers. Right now, how many times have you heard? Well, for instance, let me give you one that just came across my desk yesterday. Let me see if I can find it quick. There is the Department of Education has decided that if your school doesn't have the right bathrooms, you don't get the funding. Who made that decision? Did you vote for that? Because it's now taxation without representation. And they will say, no, technically that's not true. Why? Because you voted for the president. But I didn't vote for all the bureaucrats. And when I voted for the president, I didn't vote for him to be a dictator. And I mean this for Republican or Democrat. It doesn't matter. I voted for a president to have the bully pulpit to convince the American people this is the direction we should be going in. Not for him just to close the curtain and flip some switches and turn up the dial on different things. That's not his job. And it's certainly not the administration's job. Passing laws goes to Congress. Setting limits goes to Congress. But gun issue? Congress will do what it wants. And if it doesn't get its way, it will break the Constitution to get its way. And believe me, they are already putting things into place to infringe on this right. And they're putting them in place through ATF, through the Commerce Department, Homeland Security. One way or another, they will get it done. This is no longer a government for and by the people. This is a government that is now being done through the administrative state. As I showed you on Wednesday's TV show, FEMA. FEMA is not a reactionary force anymore. The administrative state, through the presidency, has now changed this so they're not just reacting to an emergency, a hurricane. They're reacting now to all hurricanes yet to come, all droughts yet to come, And they are putting into place things to stop those emergencies because the climate is an existential threat. And they're doing that with the SEC, with ESG. They're doing it everywhere. That's how you kill the American dream. If you think gas prices are going down, you're mistaken. This is not a bump in the road. This is not a glitch. This is a feature of what our government has become. If I could have only one prayer answered today, it would be this: that everyone within the sound of my voice could wake up just one person. And I know how frustrating it is. Believe me. I mean, I admit my faults, and I admit freely that I'm wrong on timing. And when I'm wrong about something, Stu, when I'm wrong on something, have I ever hid that? Have I ever not taken responsibility for things that I'm like, wow, I was wrong?
No, there's no reason to.
Yeah, right.
Rather, you get more trust with the audience when you admit when you're wrong.
Publicly and privately. I remember something we argued about and I was really strong on. And how many times have I come back to you and went, thank God for you, because I was so wrong on that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's true.
There's no reason. I have people in my own family that know my record that won't listen right now. And I think it's because it's too ugly. It's too hard. It's too hard to even imagine. Americans have never seen anything like this. You know, when Jamie Dimon comes out and says, hey, brace for an economic hurricane, he said it's not storm clouds, it's hurricane. We just don't know if it's going to be, I don't know, Hurricane Nancy or Hurricane Katrina. But brace yourself. People don't understand that, and they don't see that it's right over the horizon. There's another shortage that I just want to throw at you to show you the unintended consequences of things. Now, we just went through COVID, and what happened? COVID put us all in our houses. Well, right now, there is an organ shortage. Every day, 17 people die waiting for an organ transplant. And another person that needs a transplant is added to the waiting list every 9 minutes. Now, 90% of the population agrees with organ donations, but only 60% actually register as a donor. Now, what has caused this pandemic of organ shortages? Well, two things. One, the organs from people who have just died, it's time limited. You've only got X number of minutes that you can use that organ, then it starts to decay and it's no good. Well, we've got to do COVID tests on everything. We can't turn these organs around fast enough. So we're losing a lot of organs. But also, you've got a real problem because the recovered organs have dropped from more than 110 in a day to less than 60 per day. Why is that? Listen, because people are driving less because of COVID. And most organs come from car crashes. Now, can we just think this out for a second? Why are our gas prices so high? Our gas prices are so high because we need to get into electric vehicles. Electric vehicles are not the only solution. It's self-driving electric vehicles. It is AI electric vehicles. How many car crashes will we have in AI-driven cars? The whole thing is they're going to be safer. So let's say we cut, out of 100% of the car crashes we have now, we cut it down to 20%. What are we going to do for organs? There will be an organ shortage, much greater than this one. Then what do we do? These are unintended consequences. And the reason why I bring this up is these people are trying to change everything. They are changing our history. They're changing our national story. They're changing the meaning of even the American dream. That was gone long ago. We don't know who we are. We don't know what we are. We can't even identify a man or a woman. We're teaching our kids, we're putting our kids this month, because it's Pride Month, our kids are having story time with transgendered people, reading the story. Why? 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 What is wrong with us? They're changing absolutely everything. In fact, I read a story this week about the coming changes to our farm-to-table system. The seed to fork. All of it is changing. And it's all being changed by the experts, and it's all being forced to be changed in the next 8 to 12 years. God only knows what the unintended consequences are going to be. And because God only knows those things, we should perhaps slow down. But see, they think your pain at the pump is a good thing. Joe Biden said, we're going to pay a heavy price. Now, he was talking about the oil prices because of Putin, but that's not what's causing these oil prices. It's ESG and the environmentalist policies that are causing this oil and gas shortage, and it's a 5-year turnaround. He looks at it as a good thing because we're making progress. And the intended consequence is you'll get off of gasoline because they're going to make it too expensive. If I could have one prayer answered, it would be that whoever you are, you would realize you're listening for a reason and that you have incredible power and that the American dream is truly to be free enough to chart your own course, and that you would realize there are people that are trying to destroy that opportunity because they think they know better. And that you would be able to wake one person up in the next few days to the fact that gas prices are going much higher and it's not coming back around. And that food prices, that, again, as Jamie Dimon said, a hurricane is coming. I pray that you will be able to wake up somebody so they can help other people when the storm comes. Not instead be sent to the Superdome to live in that chaos.